dive straight in. We're going to be talking about owning your power. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, we're going to split it up into a few different sections. So we'll start with the past, and we're going to start with where we feel like we've lost our power. Okay, so you might resonate with this. I'm going to start with 2 examples in the past where I feel like I lost my power because I handed my power over to other people. So I'm going to give you 2 examples. One is the art of social media and comparison.
It's a big one.
So spending time on social media, comparing myself. So one example would be about taking us back about 7 years ago, and thinking to myself, through no fault of anyone else's, just myself in my mind, oh my gosh, I can't, like, I wanted to put myself on YouTube. I wanted to get my videos out there. People were asking, do you have videos, you know, upload this, upload that. My students specifically were asking for content, video content that they could refer to during the week outside of dance class. But I was paralyzed. I was frozen. I couldn't do it because for me, I thought there's already people out there doing it. There's already people who've been teaching longer. There's already people who look better than me, prettier than me, more followers than me.
That's not true, but I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, and it paralyzed me. I thought, what have I got to give? I can't put myself out there. I don't want to step on any toes because this other person's doing it. Okay, so that's one example. The second example, so after thinking, oh, everything, it's already been done, I can't do it myself. Who's going to want to hear my voice? The other example is putting videos out and then having to deal with the comments and being scared what people are going to think, what they're going to say, what they're going to comment. Are people going to like it? Is it good enough? It's not perfect, this video, like, oh, I'm doing this, oh, like my face is funny here, or oh, what's my hand doing there? And, you know, again, being paralyzed by that fear of putting myself out there on video. And if this resonates with you guys, please, like, comment in the box down below, because you know, I think it's important for us to hear about this and speak about this. So, you know, what I was doing though essentially was depriving myself of creating as a dancer, and also depriving my students and my fans of, you know, seeing what I'm getting up to, and in a way being quite selfish because it was all in my head. You know, I think I've had like 2 negative comments over the last 7 years on social media, and when I say negative, they weren't even that bad. It wasn't like, oh, you're shit, stop dancing. Yeah, it was more like someone's opinion, but those 2 comments just stuck. No matter how many amazing comments I've got from fans, students, colleagues, yourself, Kay, it just, I was fixated on those 2 comments, and again, paralyzed. And I actually stopped posting videos. I was too scared. And I try not to regret anything in life, but it was a big lesson for me, a big lesson. It learnt me a lot that I had given control to other people by trying to please them.
Yeah.
And that's where I felt I lost control.
Gosh, thank you for sharing that, T. It takes a lot of courage to open up about subjects like this, and but you know, we're doing it to raise awareness, because I think we've reached a point now generally in human, you know, evolvement, that we've realized we have to talk about these things. And look, already Stephanie on Insta saying it sounds so familiar. So many people are going to be able to resonate with the things we're saying, and isn't it funny how your power is your power, but how we don't realize that we have power, you know, and it's just so bizarre, really and truly, isn't it? So, okay, that was your instances where you felt as though you had lost your power in the past.
That's right, yeah. What about you, Kay? Have you got any examples to share with us?
Yeah, mine, I mean, I know we said we were going to stick to a 5-year kind of span in terms of going past, but I just felt like this is too much of an opportunity to hold back when it comes to power, because, you know, there are things that can affect you in life that that really steal your power. And so I'm actually quite nervous and a bit jittery right now for what I'm about to say. But I believe in the power of the truth, so I'm gonna share a little bit, you know. So obviously, I think being a Indian and not really fitting into the Indian mold, but then not really fitting into the wider mold, subliminally sucks your power anyway. And I'm really glad that globally there's an eyes are opening about what it feels like to be from a BAME background. And that's something I have, especially since the Black Lives Matters movement last year, I've become really passionate about, because although I've never experienced direct racism, I realize actually, because my culture is different, my upbringing is different, how you are made to feel like you're an outsider, and how much that sucks of your power. But also, I've had other events happen in my life, and I just want to mention them. I'm not going to talk about them in you know much depth, but I just want to raise them as incidents that have happened that snatch your power. So bullying would be one thing, because I was bullied in school. So that instantly is like a, you know, it snatches your power straight away from you. You start to doubt yourself. I was actually subjected to sexual molestation as well 3 times in my life, during different eras of my life as well. One when I was a child, one when I was a teenager, and then once when I was in my 20s. And so obviously when you experience something like that, that also, it's an instant, you know, snatch. You begin to doubt yourself, and you don't see your own self-worth, even though it's nothing to do with you. And then the third big instance was the death of my dad when I was 15, because again, something like bereavement, it's out of your control. So you know, so my point is that these are things that happened to me that I had no control over. So therefore I lacked power over those incidences, and therefore the only way I could keep hold of some power was to then say self-harm, or have an eating disorder, or a bit of substance addiction. You know, those are the kinds of things, that's why people fall into these cycles of trauma, because it's their power that has been snatched from them because of incidences that have happened without their control or consent. But the positive thing I just want to say through all of that is that I've always danced and I've always done yoga. And those are the 2 things that have always kept me sane and grounded, and always enabled me to keep in touch with myself. So, you know, that's why I celebrate dance and yoga all the time. That's why I set up my company in 2005, in 2009, you know, over 10 years ago, because it was an outlet. You know, it was a release, it was something for me. And even though, you know, again, being BAME, you get judged for being a dancer, not being a professional, and all the rest of it. I'm glad I defied all the negativity I received, because here I am down the line still using dance and yoga as a way to positively impact people's lives, particularly those that may have also had some similar experiences to mine, where their power has been snatched from them. So yeah, that's what I want to say on the past of power snatching.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Kay. That's a lot. That is a lot. That's a lot to deal with.
It is a lot, and I mean, I want to stress this, because there are lots of women that are in the same situation of me, who have, you know, taken out other people's overpowerness on themselves. And that's where the vicious cycle is. But you know, as soon as we begin to realize the power within us, we can change all of that. So yeah, definitely something for people to take away as a positive.
Absolutely. And that's it. And I think that leads on nicely to our second section, which is how we manage to lose our control, which we've just spoken about, and lose our power, and then transition into present day and regain our power. And I have to say, I'm very, very sorry. I made a mistake on Facebook for some reason. Hello, Facebook, we are now live. But for some reason, I was only showing myself to myself. And I didn't make the Facebook Live public. Even though I clicked public, maybe it's pregnancy brain, baby brain. I don't know.
Pregnancy
I'm sorry.
laptop.
Yeah, I'm live on Facebook now.
Oh, great. Let me see if I can see us now on
yes.
on the FB. Oh yeah, here we go.
Thank you. Well done, Tevec. Well, hey, I just want to, before we do move on to the next section, I just want to read out what Soraya said, which is, she has a lot of love and respect for you. You are a strong lady and you've come through so much. Thank you for your love and support and sharing your experiences. Thank you, ladies, for this. You're welcome, Soraya. It's really nice to see you here on Instagram. And yeah, we want to basically go on to talk about now how we turned those challenges into a positive. So Kay, I'm going to let you start this time.
Thank you, T. So with regards to my current situation, I'm the type of person who has always been in control of my health. So I've never really taken any medication or had any kind of operations or anything like that. But for the births of both my children, I had to undergo a cesarean for both of them. And the crazy thing is, people don't think of cesareans as a big deal because so many women have them, and you know it's just so common. Sorry, pause on Insta, and it's so common. But the thing is, having a cesarean is a huge deal. You're basically being cut open, and I had to go through that twice in 18 months. So my body has taken a bit of a battering, you could say. And what's that done? What that did is, again, it took away my power, because I was under the impression I was going to have a natural delivery, you know, and I was going to be in control. But all those women who have babies know you're never in control when it comes to having children. And the decision to have cesareans, although I had to consent to it, it was beyond my control. So losing that sense of power over my own body, and also not being able to recognize my body anymore as the body it was before I got pregnant, was also a huge absence of power for me. So it seemed as though I'd done so much work on myself to get to a point where I'd overcome the obstacles that had happened in my life. And then suddenly I was hit with 2 major operations in the space of, well, not even 18 months, 17 months. And yeah, it's taken a lot of work to get to where I'm at the moment. But what I really want to focus on from that is, having been that dancer before I got pregnant, that was on the scene, dancing, in control of my body and all the rest of it, to now becoming a dancer where I'm a mum, my body's changed, I look different, I feel different, you know, I've had major operation twice. It comes back to what you were saying, Tevec, about other people's energy, and about not letting other people's energy rub onto you and affect your power. So I've just written here, like, you know, you go on social media, you see the shows people are doing, you see their beautiful costumes, you see their stunning bodies. It's very easy to get sucked into that, as though your power is being pulled out of you, because you're not appreciating you for who you are. You're thinking about everybody else and what you should look like, kind of thing. And also, it's just, you know, it fits into that wider narrative about what is beauty, fake beauty, filters, you know, body shaming, and all those kinds of things that it brings to the forefront. So Yeah, so it created a huge loss of power, but again, through my dancing, and now it's like, I don't care if you don't like how I dance. I don't care if you have a problem with my wobbly bits, you know, or if you think, again, you know, trying not to be too hard on myself, because whenever I've danced, it's been from the heart, you know, it's been from my sacral chakra. My womb's got more stories to tell now, so I believe my hips will talk more now, you know, as a dancer. But it's about realizing that, and realizing the power of your own hips and your own energy, and not letting anybody else sabotage that or try and dim that, you know. So I think that's been the huge owning your power lesson for me in the present.
Yeah, excellent. No, fantastic to hear that, Kay, and I'm really glad. And you're right. And obviously I'm pregnant at the moment, so I'm learning about cesareans and things like that. And it's, boy, boy, it's a lot to take in. And I think people just think, oh, it's an easy procedure, too posh to push, have a cesarean. But
Yeah,
no, it destroys your body. And hopefully that'll be a conversation we can have another day once
absolutely.
I've inshallah had my child.
Inshallah.
Allah istesa. So I'm going to talk about now, I'm going to carry on with the two examples that I was giving, which are one, comparing myself to others and being paralyzed by putting myself out there, because who wants to listen to little old me? Who wants to listen to little old Tevec? And also negative comments and dealing with social media and, you know, the voices in your head that tell you you're not good enough. So I ended by saying I was depriving myself and my fans of what I had to show and give them, really. I was holding all my gifts to myself. And it's something I really, really had to work on. It doesn't matter how many medals I've won, how many high profile celebrities I've worked with, how many times I've been on TV, how many gigs I have that are amazing, how many times my wonderful clients and students tell me I'm amazing. It didn't matter. Okay, so I really had to check myself before I wrecked myself. So what did I do? I'm going to share my tips and my tools with you. So I actually had coaching from a lovely lady called Nicolette. She goes by the name of Creative Genius, and she really helped reframe my mindset. And during that year, the most interesting thing happened. A lot of my students said, you were a great dancer, but you've gone to being a wow dancer.
Yeah.
And that happened, I personally think, because my mind shift changed.
Yeah.
My mind frame changed.
Yeah.
So for some dancers, you've got to work on your dance. I was working on my technique. I was working on going to class. I believe if I'm an eternal student, I'm going to learn for life. So that had never been an issue, but I didn't have my mind right. I was too shy, introverted, in the sense that I would hold myself and self-sabotage myself. So I stopped looking for approval, a bit like what you said. So please comment if this is resonating for you guys. Yeah, like stopping yourself from putting a video out there because you know you might be scared that someone's like, oh, they're going to say horrible things.
And they will be. Well, that's the thing.
They're going to tell me I'm too skinny.
Well, this is the thing. You can't please everybody. And we've been made to believe as if, you know, that is the way forward. And I think... Exactly. And I think it comes a lot down to, again, that whole BAME thing, that BAME thing, T, because I think it's like our culture teaches us to actually think about what people around us think of you, and to think about your community and, you know, your society and all of
what will others think? What will they think? If you
how
do
will
something,
it look?
How do you look? How do we look as a, yeah. I grew up with that, Kay, as well, just like yourself, being from Turkish Cypriot background.
Yeah.
It was always, what will others say about us if we do this?
Yeah.
I've grown up now. I married a black man. After that, I couldn't care less. Okay. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm being real with you guys. So I've stopped looking for approval. I don't need people who have learnt my culture and the dance of my culture to tell me what's right or wrong now. I own that myself. I know that this is what I've grown up with. I have the knowledge. I have it ingrained within me. I don't need someone else who's learnt my dance. Well, it's not my dance, but, you know, learnt my culture dance, or the Egyptian people's dance, Middle Eastern dance, to tell me what's right and wrong. So knowledge is power. Go out there, learn.
Well, it's also
power.
And also, sorry to interrupt. Can I just add one little thing there, just quickly, just about, also it goes back to history as well, and knowing your history, and just how, you know, like, it, just because you're Indian or you're Turkish, it doesn't mean that doesn't really mean anything, because generationally we've all come from different places and the culture's all entwined anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to add that bit.
No, absolutely. You raise a very good point. If you go back to history, you'll know that there's been different empires, different civilizations.
Exactly.
The world has been fused for years.
Exactly.
It's one big fusion. We are all human. It doesn't matter which country we come from. At the end of the day, let's not take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
We only get one life. There's no dress rehearsal. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to put on a silly costume and dance around and be silly, go for it. If it makes you feel good, go for it.
Yeah.
So claim your power.
Yes.
Stop looking for approval. Stop waiting for it to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Okay, that's my advice to you. And if you feel like you're self-sabotaging, maybe get some help. Maybe find a coach or somebody who will inspire you. It could be your dance teacher, even if your dance teacher inspires you, if they give you that positivity to carry on, then go with that. Okay. If you don't feel something's right, or you don't feel like people are seeing your value, you can step away from that. And also, if they're not paying your bills, okay, pay them no mind. Because seriously, the people who will comment and say this and that, are they really paying your bills? No. The people I'm going to care about, the people who are paying my bills and giving me money for my gigs and my contracts and that sort of thing. And that's where you need to recondition your mind and focus on those things. And once you shift that mindset, the world's your oyster. Like, you can just,
absolutely.
You can prove yourself.
Absolutely. 100%. Well said, T. Well said.
Let us know if that resonates for you. Yeah, hit the like button on Instagram, on Facebook. Let us know if any of that resonates for you. And if you what you've done to maybe overcome some self-sabotage. Let's share our stories together and be here for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said, babe. And also, you know, that's, for me as well, I had to undergo a lot of self-development and really learn about why those things happened. And I actually went through different forms of healing and practices, and essentially it all comes down to like quantum physics and the fact that you can rewire your DNA. And because, you know, like, again, with the whole thing of, you know, our history, we might have been born in this culture in this life, but I don't know, for some of you might believe in reincarnation, I don't know, but your soul carries many stories. You know, it's more than just this life. So we are much deeper than what we're led to believe. So we could go really deep into this, but the essence is that you have a power in you, you have a light in you, and you can turn all those experiences that have happened to you into an opportunity for learning about yourself, your boundaries, your thought processes, and just really elevate yourself and grow, which is what it's all about. You know, we all have power in us when we're born, but we don't know it. So at some point in your life, hopefully you'll feel that it's time to now claim that power, and then that can really come across in your dancing.
And can I just add something to that, Kay? So you're spot on, and I'm going to add this. No one can tell your story like you can. And that's what will make you different, and that's what will make you unique. So going back to that example where I thought I can't put my videos on YouTube because it's already been done. Well, is anyone else Turkish Cypriot, born and raised in London? Have they got my experience? Have they had my life experiences? You know, have they seen the things that I've seen? You know, things like that. And think of it like that for yourself as well, where you were born, what challenges you've overcome, what story you have to tell. Only you can tell that. No one can tell your story on your behalf. Yeah, so that's your power, and the power is within you, people.
Absolutely, absolutely, definitely. So that leads us on to the end of our chat, and we just want to talk a little bit about our forthcoming event, for which the theme is Own Your Power. It's an International Women's Day event taking place on the 6th of March, Saturday the 6th of March. We're really excited about it. We've got some fantastic artists lined up for you. And yeah, what else do you want to say, T?
Yeah, so it's going to be via Zoom. Tickets are now live, bookings are live. And it's, the title of the event is Celebrating Women.
Yes.
So men are welcome. We're not excluding men in any way. They're more than welcome. But we're just celebrating the power of a woman through this virtual event. And it is coinciding with International Women's Day. So their theme this year is challenges, is it? Overcoming challenges.
Yeah.
So we thought this would be a great opportunity to, however you're feeling. This has been one challenging year, guys. Let's not lie. Like for me, my income has like halved. I don't have the gigs I used to have. It's Friday night. I'd usually be running around, you know. My life has changed. And it's hard. It's hard financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. It's all been a very hard year. So this is our chance to reclaim, would you say, reclaim our power, give ourselves a 2.5 hours on a Saturday.
Exactly.
And feel good and enjoy. Just try to reconnect. I think, sorry, I'm going on a little bit, but one thing I want to say is in this last year, why I'm so positive about the future is because this past year has allowed me to really reflect on everything I've achieved, everything I've been through in life, and sit still for a moment and appreciate it and just be. Nowhere to go, no one to see, just be.
Yeah.
And can really just be yourself as well, no obligations. And that's what I want people to feel when they come out of this event.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's open to anybody, doesn't matter which country you're in, you know, like T said, male, female. It's just celebrating not just women, but women who that are representing their art in the form of, you know, music and dancing. So it's going to be a really nice celebration, and we really hope you'll join us. Yeah, same as T, really. You know, again, it's tough being a mum with 2 kids and trying to get your hustle on at the same time. But we're doing it, you know, we're doing it, and we do it because we're passionate about it and we believe in it. You know, I shared something quite personal today. I've not done that before, but for me, it's kind of like, well, why am I going to take that information to the grave with me? I don't want it, you know, let it out into the universe. If it can help someone, let it help somebody. I know there's going to be women out there who are going to be like, holy, I never knew she went through that, you know, because why would I talk about it? But I want other women to also feel empowered enough to face up to these situations, these situations that lead us to doubt our own power and force us to not recognize the light within us. So it's very important that the more we talk about these things, the more awareness can be brought forth, and therefore the more change can happen. Because at the end of the day, women are still seen as, you know, the second gender, if you like, in many parts of the world. And I one thing that really pisses me off is when I see men being disrespectful to women, and I just think, your mum's a woman. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. So and especially as women do go through so much, most of it untalked about and unheard. So, you know, we're really trying to raise the profile of women and their stories and try and bring an authentic narrative to 2021, you know. So that really is what we're here to do. So tickets are available already. You can go onto the website lovethebeat.co.uk, and tickets are £8 if you manage to grab the early bird price, and then I think, I can't remember the cut-off date now. We've got a cut-off date. Valentine's Day, how can I forget? So on Valentine's Day, the tickets will, that will be the last day for the early bird, and then after that they'll become full price of £12. So it's going to be a lovely afternoon, full of different entertainment to what we had in December. And yeah, we really hope just to bring people together, people with a united heart. You know, it's all about one love and just a united spirit in terms of celebrating women.
Absolutely. And I promised myself I wouldn't forget to say this, so I have to just end it with this, if that's okay, Kay.
Yeah.
We as women need to rewrite our narrative. The narrative for so long has been written by men, which is absolutely fine. It's been written by men for women and men. I don't know. But as women, we have the power now to rewrite our narrative and show the world and mainstream what it means to be a woman. And that's what I'm super excited about for the future.
Yeah. And also, I think generally in 2021, particularly last year, there has been a collective rise in consciousness anyway. So people who are feeling, you know, those vibrations, we need to unite and really make the most of that energy so we can all thrive off it. You know, it's not about being in competition. It's about thriving and growing and expanding together. It really is. So yeah, well said, T. Well said. I think we've come to the end.
That's it. Thank you so much to everybody who's joined us.
And, I just want to say to everybody listening, if you need to, you know, you want to message Tevec separately or myself separately, please feel free. You know, we're here. We're not going anywhere. Can't go anywhere anyway. So
Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, we're here. So thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. And remember, this can be watched on replay if you missed any of it. The subject was Own Your Power. And thanks, T. I really enjoyed talking about it with you as well. So I don't know where to look at you. Like, we keep missing each other.
Two screens.
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
So much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for tuning us. Mwah. Thank you, T. I love you too, my darling, my Janum.
My Janum as well.
And sorry, one more thing I just want to say is actually the event that we were planning started off as a celebration as T's baby shower. It actually began as let's have a baby shower for you, and then it kind of evolved into celebrating moms, and it evolved into just celebrating women. So that's where the idea came from. So I hope lots of you will also join us to say good luck to T as she embarks on her new journey. You're going to be a wonderful mother, babe. So
thank you. I'm excited, very, very excited.
Yeah, you should be. All right, well, thank you again, everybody, for joining us on both platforms, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.